This is Luetin, and finally I can bring you my first thoughts on the release of Battlefield 4. Now, one of the first things that really struck me was just how significantly better the game looks. It really is rich and an amazing level of detail from the very first map I loaded into, and I was met with liquid fire spilling from the top of a building in an urban landscape at night. It just grows from there. The water in game is jaw-dropping, and I ended up swimming around in it just to marvel at how the physics were, how the water coloration looked, and it's so well represented. And speaking of the colour palette of Battlefield 4, it's so wide, as we noted with the beta on Shanghai. There really is like this deep tone of colours which really bring the game and the world of Battlefield to you. But what is that world like? Well, the gameplay has been furious and immersive, as you would expect from Battlefield, and as you would well imagine, I struggled to tear myself away from it last night. So many gameplay details have been improved that are small but strong changes. The weapons handle more intuitively for me, the momentum of vehicles mean that they can handle more realistically, your character jumps and runs with more natural feel to it. Vehicles when taking damage behave with better physics as well, be that firing or taking damage. When I was taking hits in a Venom from an IFV below me, it literally tipped me headfirst into the floor, and there's no way for me to compensate this. You literally, forget having to shoot down a helicopter to 0%. If you catch it right, you can literally just force crash it into the tarmac just with the momentum and the power of the rounds. And so far I've been hands-on with Rush, Domination and Conquest, all of which for me played out very enjoyably. Rush was ever a battle of wits to push through and outflank the enemy, and as so often I found myself alone arming objectives while the team decided whether they wanted to move up or not. Conquest was a grand open war with players and squads having intense skirmishes around bases or chasing helicopter combat through flooded streets and ruined buildings. And let's not forget Levolution in this. Levolution has really changed the game. There's several times where the entire game dynamic changes because of Levolution. Breaking the levee on Flood Zone causes this complete change in the dynamic of the game. What before was like this battle over ruined streets and kind of dark corridors changes up to become this sort of aquatic battle with boats racing around, firing. We've got the LAVs and the sort of amphibious tanks driving around there as well, and it just, the whole dynamic changes. Other maps as well, be it Golmud Railway or Rogue Transmission, they all have these other elements in there. Shanghai, we still have the building falling down. All of these things just build Battlefield 4 to be something that we've never really seen before. So going back on my last game mode, Domination finally, as I imagined, it can be very intense, very fast game mode, but make no mistake, okay, Dom is a game mode that is all out about tactical reading of your enemy, predicting their movements, capping a base, and then getting where you need to be. It's the order of the day, and we'll cover that much more in some other guides and things that I'll have coming up. But as with all releases, not without its problems, people will have noticed the ammo dropping problem, where basically when you reload, you're dropping all the ammo from that mag, which obviously reduces your ammo pool significantly. Now, as I understand it, this is an easy issue to resolve. It's not meant to be in the game, it's not meant to be there, or, well, it is meant to be there in a kind of roundabout way. Basically, it's a server setting. Now, as I understand it, what has happened is that at release, that server setting has been defaulted to on. So pretty much all servers have this on feature that when you drop ammo, okay, when you change out and reload, it drops the ammo from the mag, and as I say, that comes out of your full ammo pool. You lose all that ammo, and I think this is going to be resolved in the next week. It should be a very, very simple thing to fix, because all it's going to change is that all servers have it defaulted to off, and then obviously you can reload as normal. So a quick one to resolve there. Crashing and server queuing, also problems for PC, but right now, last night I crashed out of multiple games, much to my frustration, but both of these issues have already been noted by DICE. They're working on fixes, and if you find yourself unable to connect with a teammate, for example trying to queue back into a game, then get them to send you an invite or join on them directly from your friends list. If you crash out of a game, trying to reconnect will often tell you the game is full, so just go to your history and then rejoin from there. But all in all, so far the game for me has been resoundingly positive and a fantastic update. Even with some of the issues, as I've said many times, if you're expecting a smooth release of a large title in the first week, it's simply naive and unrealistic to think that there aren't going to be creases to iron out. And the question is how the associated developer handles this. As I say, in the past I've seen devs who've really handled a release badly. They haven't given feedback to the community, they haven't updated things, and so far DICE have been doing a really good job, and I'm sure that in weeks time we'll be in a much more stable position. I'm also looking into setting up my server. A lot of people are asking about this all the time. I will encourage anyone who wants strong objective play to join in on that, and so I'm going to be getting that set up as soon as possible. So lastly, I'll just say that this is something we've been waiting on for a very long time. It's so satisfying to finally get to grips with the game that we've been waiting on forever. We have a long road ahead and tons of gameplay, analysis, tactical overviews, new shows from me, and much more. I'm going to be streaming throughout this weekend. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at Luetin09 and on twitch.tv/Luetin. To join in, come and have some fun. I got a ton more content coming up this week. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the battlefield.